back to my channel, you guys. I hope you're excited for today's video because we're going to try a new concealer that recently launched at the drugstore, and this is the Covergirl Simply Ageless Triple Action Concealer. They came out with 10 different shades. I picked up 2 because I wasn't sure like which shade would essentially work out for me since I purchased this online. So I picked up shade number 330 Buff Beige, 340 Creamy Natural, and today we're going to do an 8-hour wear test. I'm going to give you guys updates on how my skin is currently looking. Does it crease? Does it separate? We're going to see basically what it's all about. Keep in mind that I also have combination oily skin, so where I apply on concealer is generally where I get oiliest the most. And so we're just going to see what it's all about, if it's actually even worth picking up in case you've just been eyeing it, you know, at the drugstore. And also, in case you didn't know, they came out with 10 different shades, so it does run for $17.49. It's supposed to be really lightweight with medium to full coverage, radiant finish, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, vitamin C infused in the formula. It also has apparently a ceramic wand that's supposed to help us depuff the eyes. I feel like this would be perfect like in the morning when you're really tired and you just need a little extra something. The little ceramic wand might end up going such a long way, so I hope you guys are excited. Everything I use will be linked down below in the description box. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's jump on in and try out this new concealer. And as always, we're gonna go ahead and start off with the packaging because I feel like packaging matters, you guys. I feel like it's part of the experience, and this is basically it. You get the wand separate than the concealer. I kind of was surprised, to be honest. I thought the wand was going to be already inserted in the concealer like our typical packaging usually is, but I guess they wanted us to be able to see the wand applicator that's made out of ceramic. And let me tell you guys, it has a really nice cooling sensation. It has a nice thickness to it that I personally really love, and I'm really excited to test this out because I've never applied on concealer using an applicator like this. As for the concealer itself, I already hands down know that the shade that I'm going to end up using for today's video, and it is a Buff Beige number 330, just because the 340, the one I'm currently holding, which is called Creamy Natural, it just has a weird pinky undertone that I am just not a fan of, and so for that, it's gonna be a no. But let me give you an up-close clip of the swatch of a Creamy Natural so you can see for yourself, and obviously I'll throw an up-close clip of a side-by-side comparison so you can see the difference between the two. Let me show you as well, because it oxidizes. This concealer definitely oxidizes, so just keep that in mind. The top swatch, it is Creamy Natural number 340. The bottom swatch, it is 330 Buff Beige, so you can definitely tell the difference. I love Buff Beige. I feel like it has a neutral undertone, and I feel like it's going to give us a really nice brightness to the skin that I'm personally looking for, to give a little bit more dimension. Also, when it comes to this concealer, I do want to mention that it has kind of like not a runny, but it's definitely watery. It's definitely going to feel lightweight, and I'm really curious to see like what the coverage is actually going to look like. So I'm going to quickly apply on a foundation, and the foundation that I'm going to use, it is the El Makiage Woke Up Like This foundation in the shade 60. I bought 55 and 60, and I actually like them both, just depending on the powders that I'm using, but I love the coverage, especially it covers the hyperpigmentation that I have on the top of my cheekbones, and it's really lightweight. So I'm going to go in and apply on 2 pumps of this foundation. And by the way, in case you're interested in any of the skincare and products that I've applied on to prep my skin for today's video, I'll have it linked down below in the description box. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply on 2 pumps of this foundation. I'm just going to go ahead and start on the top of my cheekbone. I've applied on my foundation. We're going to go ahead and jump on in to apply on concealer. I already removed the little top to it, so I'm just going to go ahead and insert my wand. And so far, let me go in one more time. I feel like such a small amount is basically on my little applicator for some reason. I thought they would be a lot more. Let me give you a quick up-close clip of what I'm talking about, because I feel like only the tip of the concealer has any of the concealer on there. But nonetheless, let's just gonna go ahead and roll with it for today's video. I'm gonna go ahead and start at the corner of the eye to apply on my concealer, and that is basically it, you guys. That's all the concealer that this little tube has, and I'm just gonna try to do my best. So I like to apply on concealer at the bridge of my nose, and so for you guys, I'm barely getting any product. And I'm just gonna apply some on the chin, forehead as well, because that is typically where I like to apply on concealer. And for today's video, keep in mind that I'm going to blend out this concealer 2 different ways. So I'm going to go in with a beauty sponge on one side. The other side, I'm going to go in with my Laura Los Angeles L24 brush that I love to use to blend out the concealer. And I'm just going to see you know, which method gives me the most coverage. I can already tell this concealer is a little bright, but it's gonna, hopefully it's gonna give us a really nice natural brightness to the skin at the same time. And I'm gonna go in with the sponge first to blend everything out. Let me tell you, using a sponge did not help to get the coverage that I'm looking for. I feel like I've already had struggled to apply on a good amount on, you know, the areas I want to conceal and to give a little bit of that brightness. So I definitely had to work and dip the wand into the applicator, or dip the applicator into the little concealer many times trying to build the pigmentation. But I feel like overall it's blended really nicely. It definitely is really lightweight, you guys. I would not call this concealer medium to full coverage. It's definitely gives you a really light amount of coverage, especially the applicator does not help. I found myself like dipping my wand many times. So I just want to make that very clear. But I do love the brightness and I do love the finish so far. But I personally really like it. It definitely gave my face a little bit more dimension. I didn't have any issues blending out this concealer. It does dry down like a little chalky in a way that I'm not a huge fan of, but I feel like once I apply on face powder, setting powders, I feel like I can really make it work for me. So we're just gonna go ahead and move on to the left side of face. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna go ahead and try to apply enough concealer on the areas when I want a little bit more brightness to the skin. And then I'm just gonna go in with my Laura Lee concealer brush to blend out this product. But as you can see, I'm just going and dipping my wand many times trying to build the coverage or the amount of concealer that I'm trying to apply on so I can get the coverage that I'm looking for. So definitely go in with a concealer brush to blend this concealer because you're barely getting any product out of that wand, so you want to make the most out of it. So definitely go in with a concealer brush to blend everything out. I definitely feel like the left side of my face definitely has a little bit more coverage. It looks really nice. It gave me that brightness that I'm looking for. I do feel like this concealer shade is a little light for me, but again, once I apply on my banana powder, face powder, I feel like I can make it work. On the right side of my face, I feel like the coverage, you know, the sponge definitely absorbed a lot of the product, that's for sure. And I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Clarifying Finishing Powder, and this is shade Fair Light. I like to use this as a banana powder. Has kind of like a yellow undertone. The top broke to it, so that is why there is no top to it, but as you can tell, I've hit pan, and I'm gonna go in with my BH Cosmetics brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply on this banana powder on the areas we've applied on this concealer to set everything into place. And let me give you an up close clip of how my skin is currently looking so you can make your own judgment for yourself. Comment down below, what do you guys think so far? But so far I feel like the banana powder that I've applied on works really well with the undertone to this concealer. It definitely gives me the brightness. It hasn't settled into my fine lines or enhanced texture on my skin. Keep in mind that I don't deal with like texture. My main issue when it comes to my skin is finding a foundation that's going to give me the coverage that I'm looking for to cover my hyperpigmentation that I have on the top of my cheekbones, and obviously a concealer that's going to give me the brightness that I'm looking for but also not enhance the hyperpigmentation that I have there as well, because sometimes I'll have them peep through if it's like a weird undertone. So anyways, long story short, that's my main issue. So we're gonna go into foundation powder, and I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. and this is the Camo foundation powder, and this is shade Light 280 Neutral. I'm gonna go in with my Ulta Cosmetics foundation powder, pick up a little bit of powder, and I'm just gonna only apply it on the areas where I've applied on foundation, and I'm just gonna go ahead and drag it down the neckline as well. And another face powder that I like to go in and use the L'Oreal Infallible foundation powder. As you can tell, I've already hit pan. I will have the foundation powder shade down below, but I'm going to go in with my brush and I'm just going to apply it on the areas where on my T-zone, like where I get oiliest the most, like a little bit on my forehead, a little bit here on my smile lines, just because that's literally where I get oiliest the most. So I just applied a little bit of powder. And now you guys, let me give you an up close clip of how my skin is currently looking so you can make your own judgment for yourself. But let me tell you, I feel like my skin is looking really good Everything worked really well together. You can still see a little of that brightness, but I feel like overall it just looks really seamless, really nice on the skin. I feel like the areas where I apply concealer doesn't look as bright and crazy as it did before. And so I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing my makeup off camera. I'll be back once I am done getting ready to give you guys an update on how my skin is currently looking, if I had any issues blending out my bronzer, applying on my blush. So I will see you guys in a bit. I finished doing my makeup, and let me tell you, I feel like I'm having a good makeup day. I try not to rush. I try to take my time and enjoy the process, and I love how the look turned out. I'll do an up close clip so you can see how my skin is currently looking on the areas where I've applied on concealer, but so far it has a really nice brightness. Everything blended really nicely. I don't feel like anything has settled into my fine lines, enhanced texture of any kind, or settled into the fine lines like around the eye area. I feel like everything is looking really good. Literally, my skin feels like I don't have anything on. It doesn't look cakey, I feel, or doesn't, just doesn't look odd on the skin. I feel like it looks really, really good. So I will check with you guys in a few hours to give you my second update on how my skin is currently looking. I'm about to go film a decluttering video because we desperately need to declutter lip products, lip liners. I have so much of it, you guys. So I will see you all in a bit for my second update. All right, you guys, this is basically it. It has been a little bit over 3 hours now because I filmed a review video, and then I did a decluttering video, and then time literally flew. Like, my battery died, then my SD card got full. Girl, I was just then trying to clean after myself because it's been a mess here. So this is basically it. Let me give you an up close clip of how my skin is currently looking so you can see for yourself. But so far I feel like my skin is looking still surprisingly really, really good, you guys. It hasn't settled into my fine lines. It hasn't increased anything. It just looks really nice. It definitely gave me like a really beautiful airbrush finish. I definitely feel like this concealer is really lightweight. Again, the applicator, that's the only thing, you guys, that little like ceramic wand, it just needs to pick up more product just because I struggled. I'm still thinking about that, like struggling to take out product, that I almost don't really want to love this concealer just because if I end up loving this concealer, you guys, I'm going to have to make more time on my makeup routine to do all that dipping, girl. That's the only thing. But overall, I feel like my skin is looking really good. It's holding up really nicely. And so far, so good. So I'll check in with you guys in a few more hours to give you my last and final update on how my skin is currently looking. Comment down below so far, what do you guys think? I feel like it's looking pretty good. So I'll see you guys in a bit. It has now been 8 hours that I have worn this concealer on my face, and I'm surprised that my skin doesn't look even more dewy than what it's currently looking, just because it's been pretty warm outside here in LA. I haven't been out too much, but I did do a few errands. I did walk the dogs. I did wash the dishes throughout the house, filmed a few videos. So it's been, a pretty busy day, but nonetheless, I feel like my skin is looking pretty good. I love this concealer, you guys. I feel like this finish is really nice. I'm really interested to see how my skin is looking when I'm editing this video, just because I feel like it's gonna be a true test of like what it looks on me. But overall, the coverage is really lightweight. Like, I would not call this medium to full coverage. I feel like the consistency is definitely really lightweight, but the wand, you guys, the wand killed it for me, just because I had to dip my wand so many times trying to build enough product on my skin so I can get the coverage that I'm looking for. I definitely feel like buff beige was the right undertone for me, but I just found it to be a little too bright, and I just found the 340 natural, creamy natural, to be too dark all at the same time. It has like a weird reddish undertone. It also oxidizes, so just keep that in the back of your mind. But overall, once I set everything into place, I feel like it gave me really nice brightness, and it worked really well with the banana powder, and it didn't settle into my fine lines. It didn't have any texture. I feel like it's worn well really nicely throughout the entire day consistently. For $17.50, is it worth it? To be really honest, I don't find this to be anything different than what is currently out there, so unfortunately I would give this one a pass. I do love the fact that it has a ceramic wand that's going to depuff the eyes, but other than that, I need it to give me the coverage that I'm looking for and give me enough product all at the same time. In that case, I would just say try the Maybelline Instant Ease Your Mind. That's an oldie but a goodie. It's really lightweight. It gives you the coverage, and they also have a really good color selection as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I had so much fun trying out this concealer, just seeing what it's all about, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Everything I talked about and shared with you in today's video will be linked down below in the description box. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I will see you all in my next video. I love you all so much. Bye!